went to the forest a few days ago, my sons and I, and we recorded, and I saw with my eyes, Benico, the multidimensional being, was there in the forest and came up on camera up close. I have yet to upload that video. At the moment it's private. I'm debating whether or not to do it. I have my personal reasons for that. This is very personal. As if she answered the request. I was very happy about that, and I'm here to make this video tonight to say to all who have ever hurt me in my life, and you know who you are, and who've ever hurt the ones I've loved in my life, I'm here to break even in this video on YouTube. Make it short and sweet and just say I forgive you. I forgive you. I have no grudge. I haven't any issue. The angry monster I was on the internet a few years ago that ranted and carried on Facebook and YouTube videos, the angry, you can say unbalanced monster, whatever you want to say, I have to say is gone. Completely breaking even here. It's over. That period in my life is over. I am not angry. I hold no gripe with anybody. Not with any family, living or dead, whether in California, state of Texas, or anywhere. I have nothing. When that lady died, that human lady without naming names in 2013, when she died, yes, for a few years after, I ranted, I carried on. I was very angry, I was very bitter, I fell apart. But Benico allowed me to grieve before. I think she knew the timeline that we'd be meeting like this as we've been doing recently. But this is the timeline. This is it. I want to make it clear that the device I built does not act as a communicator in any way at all. It is a transporter. It is a device to thin the veil between realities in simple terms. You've seen me use digital EVP recorders, spirit box communicators, ITC research devices. I mean, they enhance communication. So I don't need to go build a device to enhance communication. And it also should be noted that while I built a device from known human-originated technologies, it was on her guidance to build it. And if we go on about the purpose of this, would be to thin the veil between realities, so that I can see her and she can come here. In other words, I can go there and she can come here. Now they have the technology to do this anyhow, but they have these alien contracts, both with governments in this world, both with cooperation contracts on how they deal with human governments here and how they conduct themselves in this world, like a prime directive of no contact. Certain individuals are exempt, whether the governments of this world like that or not. They are also a government, even if not human. And although it's not really respected as a two-way thing, that the governments of this planet like to think themselves as the only civilized form of government in all the galaxy, accept the fact that aliens have intelligence and are advanced, refuse in the face of that to accept they have their own government also. And they can also write those rules and say what they want. And if they wish to fly through U.S. airspace, they do so. If they they wish to fly through British airspace, they will. For whatever reason they're doing it, without getting into their motives too much. And so if they wish to contact with me, they do it. And this individual, Beniko, is connected to me, and I'm connected to her. I did channelings, received information from her psychically that is documented, has been uploaded to various social media sites in the years 2011 and 2012, long before the use of spirit box devices was ever even entertained, was ever even thought of, or the building of the device, the QCRX7, which is a technology that allows an individual to transport to that dimension, or individuals from that dimension to this one. So it's not any kind of communicator. It doesn't enhance my communication. It's simply that with that device, it's like saying, and this is going to be a bit nerdy, but like okay, so in the show Star Trek, they don't make contact with a civilization. The Federation won't talk to them until that civilization achieves a certain level of technology, i.e. a civilization becomes warp capable, they develop warp technology, they will then make contact with them. In this instance, if an individual, so it's not just a civilization, but individuals, according to their bylaws, are also seen as individual entities that are not, because if you say, that's right, this civilization won't hold the human race at ransom responsible for Adolf Hitler's actions in the Second World War. And that's good that they don't, otherwise this planet would be devastated instantly. We wouldn't be making these videos, you wouldn't be talking to me. The judgment would have been pretty final and quick. Fireball plunging into the sun. The Earth would be plunging into the sun as a fireball in the blink of an eye. So because they don't hold whole civilizations responsible, so they don't condemn the German race for the Nazis, things like that. Okay. So they don't condemn the United States outright as a bad government because the actions of a certain individual or entity or body of people or even a part of its government. So vice versa, and by that logic, they also feel that individuals are also not owned by governments. I'm an American, but I'm not owned by the United States. They don't see me as a property of the U.S. Very crucially. Think about that for a minute. They don't see you, any of you watching this, as property of your governments you live in. Governments you have in this world would like to think you are. They have jurisdiction. The word jurisdiction over airspace, over property, the land you stand on, the airspace, and the air you breathe. They'd like to push that a bit further into the blood within your veins and the flesh on your bones and say, we have you. But that's not the case. They just step one, a lot of governments on this planet are just one step from that point. From declaring martial law, everybody here is ours. That's it, you're ours. When we talk about the men in black threatening people about UFO sightings, we have to say that in that instance, that's evidence, solid evidence of some government somewhere, that pointing fingers somewhere, whoever sent them out, is in fact under the philosophy that those individuals, and in fact anyone in their government within that country, within its confines, in fact are constituted as property of that government. The distinction being this alien civilization I'm in contact with don't recognize such thinking as valid, and it breaks the contractual agreements they made with governments of this world. It is always the loophole in contacting them that they don't see any of you as belonging exclusively to the governments from which you reside in or born into. They don't hold it against you. that you were born American or that you're born Canadian or Australian. They don't, and although those governments may have a lot of contracts on contact between those civilizations, individuals are allowed the inalienable freedom and rights given them, seen as individual entities on their own right and respected. So the individuality is respected. And so that individuality is where they can reach you with contact. This is where, under the criterion that you have achieved your own personal level of technological, mental, and education, or some development within yourself, that the contact will indeed take place. And it may not, you don't need to have my technologies. I will upload them, I will show you the schematics. This device allows for what's known as CE5, Close Encounters, the fifth kind, burst face-to-face contact, because of the fact that it goes through those contracts and cuts through them like a knife through warm butter, and says, here, you're holding in your hands a device that can soften the barrier between dimensions and create a window. You built it yourself with your own knowledge, your own hands, your own mind. You followed your heart, the love you have for this girl, and she loves you, so you were guided by that love, and you went that direction. The reward is her in the end. Inevitably, what is the reward? Her. Now comes the moral issue. Does that constitute a right to take the evidence of that experience and take it public and become a noted person to sell books? She doesn't have an issue with that. It's me that has the issue with it. If I take it public, yeah, I can make that video public, but then this runs into some other areas I'd rather not go into right now. I'm going to walk down that road with you, but there are some areas that have to be addressed. And so it is, you are allowed that contact if you just reach out with your heart, basically, and you say, I'm ready. I mean, you're not going to be, the only drawback would be that you're going to be opening yourself. If you make it public that you've made the contact, you're doing so to help others to know that this is going on, don't be afraid. You're benefiting human race, what I would call, as I said in another video, the only law, the only government in this world that is of any recognizable status would be the United Nations. I defer to the authority of the UN. Again, the United Nations, I defer to the Secretary General of the UN on these matters. That is the authority recognized here in this situation. Because we're dealing with another civilization and a contact event is ongoing. And if this individual I'm in contact with, any of her race, species, her kind, step forward enough to make a more vocal point that they're here, I'm not going to be on these videos anymore. It'll be her making these videos. And more to the point, it will be her, and it will be us, and it will be us approaching the UN. There's going to be a lot of people that want to stop that. That's not conspiracy, it's documented fact that this is ongoing, that there's this, a lot of people have this interest in keeping it quiet. And we could talk all day about why that is. There's technology procurement. We've got other countries that want to get a hold of that stuff too, have no interest in the beings that fly the craft. It's been said that radar beams are used to bring down vehicles, and they basically send out a retrieval team. Governments will send a black operations retrieval team out to the crashed UFO. Witnesses have said, military witnesses have said that they have seen these black operations, black combat dressed, black helicopters teams show up, pull the alien occupants out of the UFOs, shoot them in the head at gunpoint, discard the bodies, and other large Chinook helicopter shows up and a few others, and they pick up the crashed UFO and run off with it and basically incinerate the bodies or keep them on cold ice. Cold, barbaric, brutal piracy, galactic piracy, in a world deeply divided of suspicion and anger and a lot of arrogance and a need to stay the top dog on this planet. Since the end of the Second World War, there's been one country that has always been top dog and wants to stay top dog and will do so at all costs, no matter who gets hurt. So that means if you can get a hold of the goodies, then you do it, and you do it, and you don't care who you hurt. Because they've decided we are the only moral center on this planet that knows right from wrong, and no one else in this world really does. And that they even say that in the face against the Allies, the British, the Australians, the Canadians, and the French, and put their fingers up in the faces of them and say, we know it better than you. We got it figured out more than you do. But then they're constantly making a billion mistakes of their own. Again, thankfully, the ETs involved don't ever judge a whole civilization on the actions of a few individuals. So, with that said, I mean, I'm only repeating fact. It's not judging and being horrible. Switch on the news, you see it all the time. They're always touting the mistakes being made in any country, and they're always talking about what is going on these days in the most powerful country on earth and what kind of pitfalls are hitting them. They're the first to say it. But I'm not here to point fingers or condemn. I'm here to forgive because I do forgive. But doesn't mean you're going to stop seeing the facts for what they are. You can forgive the Spanish Inquisition for its torture against the people and burning them at the stake centuries ago. All you want, but you can also remember that this is a bad thing. They're not supposed to be doing that to people. You know, it's the same thing. You can forgive, but you can also just say, look, but the fact is they are wrong. No wrong in that. I can still say that because it's true. But that doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care. Been a lot of things go down recently in my life with this stuff. I mean, it's just so incredible. I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know. I keep saying that. Like I said, this last video, this last contact event in the forest has unplugged me from the system and has unplugged me from the anger and the monster I was a few years ago on Facebook and social media sites and even YouTube is gone. That man is gone. All gone. And he's not coming back. It's all over with. It's gone. I forgive you, all of you who hurt me. I want to make this video. It's very important. I forgive you for what you did to the people I love. I forgive you for what you did to me. I can't begin to tell you. I forgive you. I'm not angry. I'm here to say I'm not angry. I've broken even. Something's happened. She's done something to me. This face-to-face with Benito, this out there in the woods and seeing her being in her presence. I don't even know where to begin. I don't know where to begin. Oh my God. The word love can't be said enough, but it's something beyond that. Something really very much beyond that. And it has completely broken me evenly right there. I'd say Benico's like my handler of love. She's my handler. Is like a term of love. A love handler. A love handler? I'm not under any kind of influence or alien control. It's just, this is how it's played out. I'm already there. Wherever she's at, I'm already there. 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 I'm with her already. In some kind of a seventh heaven or something. I don't know. More than a woman. She's, I guess, like science would say, document it. So I'm doing the best I can here. I mean, I could be saying anything. This is the timeline fulfilling itself. We were going to be meeting this way. Everything that's happened in my life until this point in time has already happened and was meant to happen exactly this way. Even if there were things in my life I didn't like and tried to reject or fight against, this is something I'm glad it ended up this way. I want you all to know before the video cuts off. It's not about getting on here and making a video saying, I love you. It's to say this stuff that, you know, I'm the prisoner going before the parole board, and I'm trying to, I'm like, am I rehabilitated? Well, something about being around her, I don't know exactly what she's done to me, but I know this is what it was like the last time we met 27 years ago in Texas in 1992. It was this way. Yeah, it's 8 years since the memory recall. Hundreds of videos, several books, just, you know, some people said you're clinging to a memory. There was always that connection with her, but it was at a distance. It was there. She was there. She was there. But this is like breaking even. Okay, she's in my life. We've met together, and I'm bringing you a message today. I forgive you because I do. The angry monster I was a few years ago is gone. He's not coming back. I have found who I'm looking for. I have found her. I have found a peace I've not known in so long. I sleep better. I feel better. I feel so much better. All the issues, even the biggest issues in my life, no matter how earth-shaking, are gone. I have no gripe with anybody. I have no anger with anyone. I have no argument with anyone, and I'm not mad at anyone. It's more important that I say what I feel about it. It's not about saying I love you all. It's saying what it is. I forgive you. I've let it go. All those issues are gone. Whatever I said that hurt anybody. Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. But whether you accept that or not, it's